Boom! What's going on, guys? Welcome to day 2. All right, and I'm excited to go through this with you. Before we get started, though, I just want you to know what we're going to go through I'm so excited about, because I am very legitimately excited to go through this today with you. First of all, we just got our sweet backdrop, which I'm excited. This was going to be here yesterday for yesterday's videos, but it wasn't. So anyways, in the future they will be. I'm a big fan of it. Let me know what you think. Hey, okay. Right, when I was working 9 to 5 for somebody else, and I was building out affiliatebootcamp.com, and I was building it out, and I was teaching the strategies. There was this asset that Russell let us download, okay? And it was this asset that when I grabbed it, it was this huge long email sequence, right? Huge long email sequence, and then you went in, and all I had to do, and all the people had to do, is they just had to go in, and they just had to put their affiliate link inside of each of the emails, and it ended up being like this massive email sequence, and that actually is what sat on the back of Sales Funnel Radio for so long. And so while I'd be podcasting and I'd be doing all stuff, and now you don't have to start a podcast, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying though is that it was all about the sequence, okay? And so I went in and I just loaded up a whole bunch of my, like tons and tons and tons of these affiliate links inside of this sequence that he pre-wrote for us. And then I loaded up all my stuff in there. And then all I did is there were different traffic methods I would use to get people in the door. Various lead gen and different baits and things like that they could go download, and then it would auto put them into the sequence, and I would just pitch them and pitch them and pitch them, all automated through this sequence. And I just started seeing my affiliate commissions just go and go and go and go and go and go. And I was like, that's crazy. This is nuts. And I remember there were multiple times where I was making, through my funnels overall, I was making more money though, a lot of times, in my own stuff than I wasn't even at my job. And I was like, what? That's crazy. You know, and then especially I remember when the affiliate commissions at a certain level where I could take that cash and I just start going. I was very careful with it, you know, because it was a little bit, I didn't have much of the time, and I was going through, and I went and I was hiring very specific jobs out, different VAs here and there. And I'll go through, and it's actually later on in the course, I'm going to go through and teach you my affiliate, how I get virtual assistants, because it's really easy to waste thousands of dollars on bad ones. So anyway, that'll be later on. But for today, here's what we're going to go through, okay? All right, so check this out. Right, so remember we've got this format here, right? And we're saying if we've got a bridge page in the front, and then we send them over here, right? You guys are going to get super familiar with me drawing this every time, right? Right, and here's a little redirect link right there, and then bam, bam, right? Well, what's going to happen, right, each time I'm going to go put them on this little bucket, and then there's going to be this big, long email sequence that's just going to continue to drip out a whole bunch of different stuff to them, right? And so it's going to be, right, email, 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 just lots of them, right? And just because somebody came in first, like let's say, for example, let's say somebody wanted a book, right, or if they want one of my products here. Let's say, right, my funnel stash, right? You guys know about myfunnelstash.com. It's where I keep all my amazing funnels that I, that are pre-built. People can go get the share funnel links and a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's say you're like, okay, I know that somebody who's interested in sales funnels might most likely also be interested in Steven's stuff. So I'm going to promote Steven's stuff, but I need a cool lead gen thing in the front. And we're going to go deeply dive into this stuff in a really cool way for you guys to implement quickly here in the future. But I need you to know what the strategy is, okay? And what we're going to go do in today's lesson, okay? Today, what this really is, okay? Here's what we're going to do. So, when somebody comes in, right, and they come and they opt in, I get them added on right here. The first thing I do is this very first email just promotes them straight back, right? There's a chance, what if they came in and they just immediately opened their email, they got distracted. I collected their contact information, which is great. I can continue to remarket to them, which I will throughout that whole sequence. But the first email, frankly, all of them push them back here to the sales page, right? The place where the cash is actually collected, because that's my chance of actually coming on in and getting cash, right? And like I was saying before, maybe like 5% of people buy right up the front. You know, another 3% buy, further down the road here. Oops. Another 2% here, another 1% here, right? And you end up getting cash further down the row as you continue to pitch these people and as you move forward. Okay, so what we're going to do in this lesson, what we're going to do is, we have gone through it and we have spent a ton of time writing an absolutely epic email sequence for you. It's pre-written. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to keep sharing my screen here, and I'm just going to open up Actionetics, which is one of the email platforms from ClickFunnels. And it's pre-written, meaning I'm going to click a button here, and it's going to generate a little link, and then you guys are literally going to be able to go and just click it, and it will preload all these emails in its sequence. There's only one thing you have to go do. So anyways, what I want to do real quick is I just want to run through the emails real fast, just so you guys understand what this actually is. Okay. Now, please keep in mind, I wrote this as if someone else was promoting my stuff. Okay. And it's in case you choose to promote my stuff, again, which you can. But if you need to, go switch it. Okay. Okay, so the first email that goes out to him, which is as soon as somebody opts in, okay, as soon as somebody opts in, right, this is this sequence right here, and it's attached to this list. So this is what's called an action funnel. So whenever somebody comes in on this page right here, and they opt in, and they give their email address, and they click the button, they get added to a list, and then Actionetics says, cool, I've got this big sequence here. What list do you want me to send all this stuff to, right? And so, right, and I've got affiliate email template, so we'll go through and how to set this stuff up as well as we keep moving forward here. But I just want to kind of orient you with this actual email sequence, so you guys know how this actually works. Okay. So the first email, right? I'm actually, for the first about 5 emails, I'm promoting a course that I have called my Funnel Stash. Okay, stash meaning like like mustache. Okay, these are all the top funnels that I've ever built. Top funnels that I've ever been a part of. Top funnels I've ever seen. Top funnels. And what I did for a long time is I started leaving ClickFunnels. I realized like, not everyone's going to be able to afford the fee that I charge for this stuff, right? Like if I'm charging $100,000 for a funnel, that leaves a lot of people who might also really need help with a funnel that they're not going to be able to hire me, right? And I get that. And so I don't want to leave people out. So what I did is I started every Saturday morning in front of a live audience building out all these funnels. And some of them are like 6-hour funnel builds. So anyway, just so you know what the product is, it's called my Funnel Stash, right? As if, like almost like you're putting it all together. Okay, so anyways, it goes through and it talks about what these things are. Frankly, all you're going to come in and do is you're going to switch out these links. Okay. Now there's a pattern inside of each of these sequences. There's a pattern. Okay. Each of the. Let me tell you a story real quick. One of the stories I really anyway, awesome story. Next to Russell, right? In fact, right behind him, right behind where he sits, there's actually stacks of swipe files. Okay, meaning other people's sales letters. Swipe file, tons of them. I'm talking thousands of swipe files. Okay, and they're mostly these giant. They came in like these huge. He's got them in these huge like binders almost. And there's some of the top sales letters that ever sold anything ever. Okay, and he goes through from the top to bottom, and he'll just read them. And back in the day, in fact, there's probably still some copywriting courses that do this. But back in the day, what these guys would do is, people would go in, and the way you would learn copy, the sales copy, things that actually made someone take their wallet out of their pocket and just throw their wallet at you, whoosh, take my cash, right? The way that people would learn copy is they would literally, you'd show up to these events, they would hand you several of the top performing sales letters, okay, that were available at that time, okay? And they say, hey, here's 3 sales letters, this one made $10 million, this one made this many $1 million, this one made this $1 million, right? And then they would hand you a piece of paper, and you would literally hand copy, word for word, the entire sales letter. And you'd be there for several days just literally copying sales letters. That was literally the event. That's all the event was. And a lot of times that's how guys back in the day would learn copy. And what's fascinating about that is there's a pattern. Okay, so what I want you to know is I want you to just be cognizant of the pattern that's happening inside of the sequence. So if you want to go and you want to adapt it for your own stuff, or you're like, Steven, I like your stuff, I don't want to promote it too, but like if you want to come in here and adapt it and adjust it anyway, I just want you to know what it's following, okay? So one of the very first things that people need to know is that they are safe, okay? If you imagine anything new that happens to you ever, there's this portion of the brain that freaks out if it thinks that it's under attack, okay? It's subconscious. You have no control over it. One of my favorite books is a book called Pitch Anything, and it talks about how we all have this croc brain, okay? It's this part of the brain that is there basically to throw red flags when we are in danger, okay? Right? Something new pops up, and subconsciously we run through a list of things that to keep us safe, okay? Am I safe? Should I run? Should I eat this? Should I mate with it, right? Am I bored? Is this threatening, right? Fight or flight or freeze, right? Multiple things that start firing through the head that you have no control over, okay? Anything is that way, okay? But we got to make sure that we can get past those parts of the brain so we can actually pitch the actual parts of the brain where it's decision making, okay? All sales are this way, and if you have a hard time making sales in general, it's usually because you're getting stuck in the croc brain, okay? So one of the first things you do, and this is the reason why we use this script, you see right here where my mouse is right here, okay? It's the who, what, why, how script. Okay, who, what, why, how script. And those are solving a lot of those problems. Who are you? What is this? How are you here? Like, what do you need? What, right? And it's all these things that are going on inside the head. So that's the script that I'm following in this first email, okay? And what we're doing is, guys, this took me probably 2 days just to write these 12 emails. And it's because of how much really goes into this. I'm trying to let you know that there is a lot of marketing psychology planted deeply inside each one of these things, okay? So this very first script here is the who, what, why, how script. The next one that we're going to go through is, now that we've gotten past the actual croc brain part of people's alert system, now it's time for us to make the person fall in love with us, okay? And so that's what I do here, right? And so I go through story. Now that we have a who, what, why, how script, and we've gotten past that part of the croc brain, and we've kind of circumvented it, we've got around it, we didn't alert it, the person's not freaking out anymore, and there's going to be a portion of people that will, but those are people that always will get frustrated by anything. Okay, now we need to get into the story. Okay, so story, right? And this is the story that this is my story. Okay, how I got into this whole game, right? Dad, I just found out my wife is only eating 1 meal a day, but packing a lunch for me still, right? We have almost nothing, literally. We have student loans coming, but not for 4 to 6 weeks. Can you float us some money, and we'll pay you back as soon as it shows up? Okay, I'm starting the story to place a high drama. It's a true story. This is my story, okay? But I'm starting the story, right? This is the very first thing in the email. When somebody sees that, right, and they see his life before the stash, okay, it's kind of a cheesy thing, but it's the headline is just selling the email. Okay, the headline is just selling the fact that I need to open the email. The very first part of the email is just selling the fact that I should keep reading. So when I start the story at a place of high drama, I hook people throughout, okay? Can you flow some money? There's a long pause on the phone. I can tell my dad was thinking. The answer is, son, no. If I give you this money, now you will not exhaust the resources that you didn't know you had. Okay, and then we go through and actually talk about my story and then why the funnel stash is such a huge deal. Okay, now that story causes a lot of affinity to me, right? And so if you're going to go promote somebody else, you're going to want to do the exact same thing. One of the worst things you could ever do in affiliate marketing is just take that person's link and just start sending traffic to it. I'm not saying it can't work, but man, it works so much better if you are introducing that expert, if you're introducing that person's product. I never promote somebody else's product who I do not personally use, okay? So if you're thinking about going and promoting somebody else's product, you should buy it, okay? Because when you go buy it, you have then created the story for you to turn around and sell to other audiences. Does that make sense? If I go out and I just get it for free, right, or I don't even get it, and I'm just kind of reading the copy and guessing. Okay, when people come and they ask me, like, is it good? Do you like it? Right? You're like, oh, I don't know, I haven't really used it before, right? I'm so obsessed with ClickFunnels because I am a purchaser of it, right? So you have to understand that this is very, very, very key. It's the reason it's email number 2. First of all, we got to get past that who, what, why, how script. We got to get past that croc brain. Number 2, we're going to start creating affinity for the individual who we're hearing about, right? It's kind of like when you go to when you go to a movie. It's like what's that? I actually like Star Wars. Okay, I liked Star Wars before it was cool. You know, when it was still nerdy way back in the day, before Disney bought it. Okay, remember Disney bought Star Wars, right? And they have it was that movie, The Last Jedi. That was a terrible movie. I freaking hated that movie, and I love Star Wars. Okay, and this happens frequently in movies when there's no backstory given for the characters in the movie, right? If you've ever seen a movie where at the end of the movie a character dies, and you're like, meh, right? You don't really care. It's because there was no story. There's no backstory here. Okay, so that's why a lot of times people, when they're promoting other people's products, they're not going to go buy it because there's no story. You're literally in a sales position. Okay, marketing is the act of changing people's beliefs through story. Okay, with the intent of a purchase to happen at the end. Sales is just getting people to act now, right? And if you have no story, you default back over to a place where you're just doing sales. Sell, 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 sell. And we all know that's where the classic, very cliche, it's a salesman at the door, right? Kind of feeling comes. It's because there's been no story, there's no affinity. We haven't addressed our beliefs yet, our own false belief. We haven't addressed any of the concerns yet, and we go straight for the sale. Debit or credit, right? Look at that countdown clock, it's going down to 0. And if you don't want that kind of feeling, right, you have got to get good at telling stories. So I put my story in here, right, and that's the reason why. All right, this next one here is actually a case study. Okay, when you think about what's happening in the brain at this point, now we've gotten past the actual croc brain. We're developing story, which means when we actually go for the sale, it's going to be a lot easier. And we're asking for the sale down at the bottom of each one of these emails. I wouldn't ever not do that. I'd always put a link down at the bottom. But what we're doing at this point now is if somebody says, oh, you know what? Actually, that guy's story was kind of interesting. Huh. I wonder if this is real, right? They start questioning the thing itself. One of the easiest ways to get around that is through case studies, and that's the reason why that's email number 3. Okay, so case study comes around, and we start seeing case studies and stories, either stories of myself or stories of other people, right? And in the next product down, right? See this changes right here. There's another 5 emails. The next product down, there's a case study. It's really cool of another lady, right? So anyways, the case study comes in, and that helps destroy more false beliefs. Then we talk about hidden benefits. Right, a hidden benefit would be something like this. Man, I went out and I was, here's this really cool exercise program and it helped me lose a whole bunch of weight. But man, you know what was crazy that happened but I wasn't expecting? Like my confidence went up. And I didn't expect that. Right, I felt like I was able to speak better in front of people. I didn't think those two things would be linked, but they totally were. Funny enough, now that I took care of myself physically, I actually performed better at my work, at my desk job. Oh, it's fascinating, right? So email number 4, right, is all about hidden benefits. And for those of you guys who have read the book .com Secrets, you can see that I'm following, on a broad level, I'm following kind of a soap opera series script here, but there's a lot of like little intertwined things in between there. So anyway, email number 4, right, we're going in and we're talking about hidden benefits, things that are just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that this part would happen. That's amazing. This is incredible. Holy crap. And people are like, oh, like I really liked the main benefit, but I wouldn't mind a little extra confidence. I wouldn't mind a little extra performing better at work. I wouldn't mind it, right? And this is another way that you start gaining affinity with an individual. The last thing we're doing here is we're creating a little bit of urgency. The reality is that nobody does anything with without a little bit of urgency and scarcity in their life. Okay, and just for you personally, if you want to get amazing at this affiliate marketing thing, set a deadline for yourself on this, right? Literally set aside time every single day to be doing these trainings and create a little scarcity and urgency in your life. Okay, as a marketer, they are your tools, they are your weapons. Scarcity and urgency come down to the biggest things. Nobody takes action. Okay, there was a guy who reached out to me for this piece of software, and I was looking at the software. This is not long ago, and I was like, hey, it's cool software. I actually want it. I'll get it. It's a cool little app. I'm a fan. I'm gonna do it. There was no urgency for me to take like action though, and so his little order page stayed in a tab on my computer for probably a month, and I just kept looking. I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. Oh yeah, I should do that. Oh, you know what? I plan on doing that. I am gonna get that software. You know, but there was no scarcity or urgency. He even gave me a promo code. What would have been better if he said, hey, this promo code is good for until we might rehash it. It was a significant decrease in price. It was really nice of him. But like if he had said, hey, it expires at a certain amount of time, I would have done it. Right? I still had intention to do so, but I would have done it a lot sooner than I ended up doing it. I did eventually buy it, but it took me like a long time, and it kept following up, and I was like, yeah, man, I'll get to it. Right? So anyway, scarcity and urgency are like the two biggest things that you guys can use, right, to get people moving down the path here. So anyways, you guys see that, now you see the pattern here, right? Then we move into, so just so you know, my Funnel Stash is a $3,000 program. If you want the bundle, and it's 25% commission your way, which is awesome, okay? It's $500 in your pocket. But if you want to promote a specific funnel itself, okay, then they're $697. And so it's 25% of that, and so that's was that 150-ish, something like that. So anyways, that's why the reason I ask you guys, if you want to, you can promote my stuff because it's higher ticket stuff. It's safer for you, especially to start with. But I'm just letting you know the prices so you can see the psychologies I'm moving through this actual sequence. Okay, and the next one, right? The next one here is Secret MLM Hacks, which is, this product has been amazing. Anyway, but right, I'm going through who, what, why, how. I'm going through story, right? This is my origin story, how I got into actually doing that MLM game, which was like 5 or 6 years ago, okay? Right? Look, he has huge eyeballs, right? There's a part of rapport I'm building there inside of that. Going into case study, right? Look at this cool case study. Can you imagine that? This is so cool, right? This case study of this girl, Michelle, that's incredible. She's super cool, right? Look at the successes that she's had, right? I'm literally going through the exact same pattern, the exact same format. And so, but what's cool is that this is all automated, right? And so if you're like, hey, and they both use funnels, okay? Oh, I'm going to go find some people who like funnels and find some cool lead gen things to drop funnels. And we're going to go through that in depth. If you're like, Steven, maybe I'm saying too much up front. Don't worry, okay? We'll get there. Okay, but there's some urgency there. Okay, what I wanted to do, though, is that in each one of my programs, there is a second affiliate tier. Okay, there's a second tier, meaning first tier, if you go in and you start promoting my stuff, it's 25%. Okay, but if you get other people to go promote it, I give you an additional 5% on top of that. And so what I wanted to do is, I thought, how cool would it be if I built that in for you for this? And so what happens here is you're going to go in and it talks about, right, this one talks about how to replace your income and is basically pitching the idea of other people becoming, whoever came through that sequence, hey, they might be into affiliate marketing. Who knows, right? They might really like it as well, okay? And so what I did is I've got a spot here for you to go in, and we're going to go into this here in just a moment in the next video, how to actually put in your affiliate links, okay? And I'll do it live here so you can see how to toss your stuff in. And again, same process is true though if you're going to promote someone else's stuff, which is great and awesome, okay? But if you're going to go in, right, set up your free affiliate account here. Well, you're going to do that for your stuff right here, which makes them a second tier affiliate, which means you're going to start getting another 5% of all the other people who are promoting, okay? It's only 2 tiers. But that's it. So it's 25% and then another 5% on top of that. So you're like, hey man, you know what? You want to go promote, my funnel stash? You want to go promote Secret Herbal Hacks? Here you go. It's right there, right? And that'll get you there. And then these are it's 3 emails. It's shorter. It's more condensed. We're talking about an actual invite, and we're talking about bigger opportunity, and then actual urgency closing it out. What you need to understand too. Anyway, so that's the sequence itself. So what I'll do is I'm going to share that, and then right down below here, okay, literally below this video right now, there's a button. Okay, it's a big red button. There's 2 of them, and one of them you can download the share funnel right here. You don't have to rewrite anything. You're literally going to go in. You're going to put your name in the places. See, it says right there. I'm going to show you in the next video. You'll put your name in, and you put your affiliate links in, and that's it. Okay, and then you can just start driving traffic and all the cool stuff that we're going to get to as we move down this path here with you guys. So, anyway, that's how the whole thing works, though. Okay, so there's one button. You'll be able to download this entire funnel. Share funnel into your ClickFunnels account. If you don't have it, don't worry. It comes with a 2-week trial, which is how I actually started this stuff, right? Grabbed the 2-week trial. I built it in the middle of the 2 weeks with my buddy, and then we went and we got customers that paid for the ClickFunnels account, right? That's why so it was a net zero business for a long time. We didn't make any money, but it worked though. We got a ClickFunnels account. It's super powerful. Okay, right next to it though, if you're like, man, Steven, I'm really into Entreport, or I used GetResponse for a really long time. If you're really into those things as well, that's fine. You're not going to be able to do as much marketing automation inside of it as you go forward, but just letting you know. Right next to it, you can actually download the text file, okay? The .txt file of these emails as well. And so anyways, those are the 2 assets down right below. Go ahead and grab them. On the very next video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you where to actually go grab your affiliate links so that they are in. And I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to show you how to grab it and actually go put them inside the email sequence. And it's really exciting. Tomorrow, what we'll do is I'm actually going to show you how to hook up the whole thing to a funnel and get this thing off the door, which is really cool. I think, anyway, so that's the game plan. Guys, thanks so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.